Potassium may be the missing reason your legs keep tightening at night after 60. And a baked potato at dinner, just a regular baked potato with the skin still on, can matter more than the banana most seniors reach for after the cramp has already started. Think about last night, or the night before. You were asleep, maybe 2 hours in, maybe 3, and then it hit. That deep, grinding pull through your calf. The kind that locks the muscle so hard you can't point your foot. You grabbed the leg. You tried to stretch it. You waited. And when it finally let go, you lay there in the dark, wide awake, wondering what you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong, but you were told the wrong thing. And that's the part that bothers me. Most seniors believe night leg cramps are just dehydration or age. And the advice is always the same. Drink more water, eat a banana before bed. It sounds reasonable. It sounds like enough. However, research from the NIH Office of Dietary Supplements and clinical reviews on nocturnal leg cramps point to something different. The bigger issue is often the mineral pattern of the entire evening meal. Not a single fruit grabbed at 10 o'clock. The full dinner plate. The potassium density of what you ate hours before you ever closed your eyes. And that changes everything. Because if the fix is supposed to happen at dinner, and most seniors are building their evening meal without thinking about potassium at all, then the cramp was already coming before the lights went off. My name is Dr. David Collin. I'm a senior wellness researcher and nutritional health educator, and I've spent years looking at one specific question. Why do night leg cramps get worse after 60, and what does the research actually say about stopping them before they start? Not managing them after the fact. Preventing the firing in the first place. Now, before I go any further, I need to say something important. Everything I share with you today is for educational purposes only. I care about you getting this right, and that means always discussing changes with your own doctor, especially if you take medications or have kidney concerns. What I'm giving you here is the research. What you do with it should involve your physician. If this kind of plain English breakdown is useful to you, and I believe it will be, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I cover things here that most seniors are never clearly told. Here's what I want you to understand by the time we're done today. You're going to know exactly 5 dinner structures. Real meals, not supplements, not pills, that give your legs the best chance to stay calm overnight. You're going to understand why the banana habit falls short for most seniors. And you're going to see the one dinner pattern that changes everything, because it's not just about potassium. It's about how the whole plate works together. After 60, everything changes, and most people aren't told why. The way your body handles potassium shifts. The way your kidneys filter it shifts. The medications you might be taking shifted even further. And nobody updates the advice. Nobody says, hey, that banana isn't doing what you think it's doing anymore. So let me show you what the research actually points to. And I'm going to start with number 5, not because it's the weakest, but because it's the one that opens the door to understanding why dinner is the battlefield. Dinner number 5 is a simple grilled salmon fillet served alongside a baked sweet potato with the skin on. Now, most seniors hear salmon and think omega-3s. Hard stuff. And that's fair. But here's what almost nobody connects. A 6-ounce serving of cooked salmon delivers roughly 500 to 550 milligrams of potassium. According to USDA Food Data Central, that's meaningful. And the sweet potato sitting next to it? A medium sweet potato with the skin adds another 540 milligrams or more. Stop. Listen to this carefully. That single plate, salmon and sweet potato, puts over 1,000 milligrams of potassium into your body at dinner. One meal. No supplements. No pills. Just food. The NIH Office of Dietary Supplements sets the adequate intake for potassium at 2,600 milligrams per day for women over 51 and 3,400 milligrams for men. Most American adults, according to NAN's survey data, fall well short, and seniors fall even shorter because appetite decreases, meals get smaller, and convenience foods creep in. So when you eat a dinner that barely touches 300 milligrams of potassium, maybe a sandwich, maybe soup from a can, maybe a frozen entree, you're going to bed with your muscles already behind on the one mineral that helps them relax. Here's how this works in the simplest terms I can give you. Potassium is the mineral that helps your muscle fibers release after they contract. Think of it like the off switch. When you have enough potassium circulating, especially in the hours before sleep, your muscles fire, then let go. Fire, then let go. Normal. Quiet. So why are so many seniors still waking up with locked calves? Because the off switch is low. When potassium drops, when dinner didn't deliver enough, the muscle fires and doesn't fully release. It stays partially contracted, and then a small trigger at night, a slight toe point, a shift in position, tips it over the edge. That's the cramp. That's the 3 a.m. wake up. The salmon and sweet potato plate makes number 5 because it's familiar. It's simple. Most seniors already know how to make it. But the reason it works isn't the fish or the starch by themselves. It's the combined mineral load at the right time of day. Now, dinner number 4. And this one is going to surprise some of you. A thick lentil soup served with a chunk of whole grain bread and a side of cooked spinach. Lentils are one of the most potassium-dense legumes available to you. 1 cup of cooked lentils, according to USDA Food Data Central, delivers approximately 730 milligrams of potassium. Add a half cup of cooked spinach, that's another 420 milligrams. You're looking at over 1,100 milligrams from a bowl of soup and a side of greens. Too little, too late, too common. That's the pattern I see in most seniors who tell me they eat pretty healthy, but still cramp at night. They're eating decent food, but not potassium-dense food. And they're eating it at lunch, not dinner. Or they're eating it in portions so small the mineral load doesn't register. Lentil soup at dinner changes that equation. It's warm, it's filling, it's easy on digestion, and it loads your muscles with the exact mineral they need to stay quiet through the night. But here's where the first mistake hides. And I promised I'd show you this. One of the most common healthy dinner habits that quietly cancels out the potassium advantage is a high-sodium evening meal. A dinner that's rich in salt pulls potassium in the wrong direction. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has published research showing that high sodium intake increases urinary potassium excretion. In plain language, the more salt in your dinner, the more potassium your kidneys flush out before it ever reaches your muscles. So a senior who eats lentil soup loaded with 900 milligrams of sodium, thinking they're getting the potassium benefit, may be handing it right back. The salt pushes it out. The muscles never see it. That's the trap. The food is right. The mineral is there. But the rest of the plate undoes the work. And that's why dinner structure matters, not just dinner ingredients. Dinner number 3. And this is where the stacking starts to get serious. A white bean and tomato stew over brown rice. Simple, inexpensive, and for nighttime potassium, one of the most powerful plates a senior can build. 1 cup of cooked white beans, cannellini, navy, Great Northern, delivers roughly 1,000 milligrams of potassium per USDA data. 1 cup, a single serving. Add a tomato-based sauce. Tomatoes are themselves a strong potassium source, around 430 milligrams per cup of sauce. And the bowl is now approaching 1,400 milligrams from the main dish alone. Pair it with a half cup of brown rice and a glass of water, and you have a dinner that most seniors would call ordinary. But for your calf muscles at 2 in the morning, it's anything but ordinary. This is where I need you to start seeing dinner differently. Not as calories, not as carbs or protein grams, as a mineral delivery system for your muscles. Because after 60, that's what dinner has to become, especially if your legs are waking you up. Most seniors never connect this to that. Today you will. The plate you build at 6 o'clock is the reason your calf is calm or screaming at 2. Now let me show you where the stacking compounds. Because dinner number 2 does something the others don't. Dinner number 2 is a baked chicken thigh served with a full baked potato, skin on, and a generous side of steamed broccoli. The potato is the anchor here. A large baked russet potato with the skin delivers approximately 900 to 1,000 milligrams of potassium. That's more than double what you'd get from a medium banana. Double. From 1 potato. And here's why this matters at this point in the story. Most seniors have been told for decades that bananas are the potassium food, the cramp food, the eat this and it'll stop food. And bananas do contain potassium, about 420 milligrams in a medium one. That's not nothing, but it's not enough. Not at dinner, not after 60, not when the adequate intake is over 2,600 milligrams a day. A baked potato, the humble, overlooked, unsexy baked potato, delivers more than twice the potassium of a banana. And when it sits on a plate next to broccoli, another 230 milligrams per half cup, and a chicken thigh, another 250 milligrams, that dinner plate crosses 1,400 milligrams in one sitting. The skin matters. I need to say that clearly. The potato skin holds a concentrated portion of the potassium. Peel it off, and you lose a meaningful share of the mineral. Keep it on. Eat the whole potato, and you're getting what your muscles actually need. So when I tell you that a baked potato at dinner can matter more than a banana after the cramp starts, this is what I mean. The math isn't close, and the timing isn't close either. The dinner potato enters your system hours before sleep. The panic banana enters your system after the damage is already done. This is not age. This is something your body is doing, and we can fix it. But only if you understand what the evening plate is supposed to look like. Wait, before we go any further, I want to ask you something. Because everything I've told you so far leads to a fork in the road. I want you to drop a letter in the comments right now. If you still wait until a leg cramp starts, and then reach for a banana or water, drop the letter A. If you believe the smarter move is building potassium into dinner before bed, drop the letter B. I read every single comment personally. Let me know below. And now here's the part I've been building toward. Everything I've shown you so far, the salmon plate, the lentil soup, the white bean stew, the baked potato dinner, all of it is real. All of it is backed by USDA nutrient data and NIH intake guidelines. And all of it matters. But there's something that changes all of it. Something almost no one talks about. And once you understand it, you'll never look at night leg cramps the same way again. The issue after 60, for most seniors, is not that potassium is dramatically missing. It's not some crisis deficiency. It's not a disease. It's a pattern. It's a low potassium dinner pattern, meal after meal, night after night, that never delivers enough of the mineral early enough for the muscles to use it before sleep. And that pattern is usually invisible. Because the senior is eating. They're not starving. They're making dinner. It just happens to be the wrong dinner for what their legs need. And then the timing compounds it. Because most seniors who do think about potassium reach for something after the cramp hits. A banana at midnight. A glass of orange juice at 1 a.m. But by then, the muscle has already fired. The mineral wasn't there when the body needed it, which was 4 or 5 hours earlier, when the dinner plate was being built. This changes everything tonight. Because the fix is not harder. It's earlier. It's not a special food. It's the right food at the right meal. A clinical review published in American Family Physician, looking at the common associations of nocturnal leg cramps, identified electrolyte imbalances, including low potassium, among the contributing factors in older adults. The review also noted that many cases are made worse by medications that affect mineral balance. The research consistently points in the same direction. The mineral environment of the body at bedtime matters. This is for educational purposes only. Always discuss changes with your own doctor. That line isn't a formality to me. It's real, because potassium is powerful. And for most seniors, food-based potassium from dinner is a safe and smart approach. But if you have kidney disease, if your doctor has told you your potassium runs high, if you take an ACE inhibitor, an ARB, spironolactone, eplerenone, or any medication that raises potassium levels, the conversation changes. The same mineral that may help one senior's legs can create a real risk for another. Don't guess on this. Please. I'm telling you this because nobody else in this space will. Most videos will hand you a list of foods and never mention the safety line. I won't do that to you. So let me bring this home. Because dinner number 1, the top of this list, isn't just the highest in potassium. It works because of the full mineral picture on the plate. Dinner number 1 is a white bean and spinach stew served over a baked potato with the skin on, with a side of sliced avocado. Let me walk you through this plate. The white beans, roughly 1,000 milligrams of potassium per cup. The baked potato with skin, 900 to 1,000 milligrams. The spinach cooked into the stew, another 400 milligrams or more per half cup. And the avocado on the side. A half avocado delivers around 485 milligrams. That single dinner plate approaches 2,800 milligrams of potassium from food, from one meal. Now, that's a substantial portion of the daily adequate intake in one sitting. And for a senior whose other meals during the day were modest, maybe toast and coffee in the morning, a light lunch, this dinner plate does the heavy lifting. It loads the muscles with potassium hours before sleep. It gives the body time to distribute the mineral. And by the time that senior's head hits the pillow, the off switch is charged. But here's why this plate earns the number 1 spot over every other dinner on this list. It's not just the potassium. It's what surrounds it. White beans deliver magnesium alongside the potassium. Spinach adds calcium. The potato adds complex carbohydrates that help sustain the mineral release through the night rather than spiking and dropping. The avocado adds healthy fats that slow digestion and keep the nutrient delivery steady. Your muscles don't use potassium in isolation. They use it in concert with magnesium, with calcium, with sodium balance. And this plate, without trying to be fancy, without any supplements, without anything expensive, delivers that concert in one bowl. So to be clear, the number one dinner is not about one magic ingredient. It's about a plate structure that gives your legs the full mineral environment they need before midnight. Let me bring this together for you now, because I don't want you to leave this conversation with a list. I want you to leave it with a pattern. The pattern is this. Build your dinner around one true potassium anchor food. Not a token side, not a garnish. The center of the plate. A baked potato with skin. A cup of white beans. A sweet potato. Lentils. These are your anchors. Then pair that anchor with at least one supporting potassium source. Spinach, broccoli, tomato sauce, avocado, salmon. The second food doesn't have to be potassium heavy. It just has to add to the total. Because after 60, your legs need the cumulative load, not a single hit. Third, and this is the part most seniors miss, don't cancel the potassium with sodium. Watch the canned soups. Watch the pre-made sauces. Watch the deli meats on the side. A dinner that delivers 1,200 milligrams of potassium, but also delivers 1,500 milligrams of sodium, is fighting itself. Your kidneys will flush the potassium to handle the salt, and your legs will pay for it at 2 a.m. Fourth. If you have any kidney concern, any medication that raises potassium, any history of being told your levels run high, talk to your doctor before changing your dinner pattern. This is not optional. This is the line between help and harm. And I'd rather you check and be safe than guess and be wrong. The banana myth doesn't make bananas bad. Bananas are a fine food. But for night leg cramp relief after 60, they are too small and too late when they're the only plan. A single banana at bedtime cannot do what a properly built dinner plate does 4 hours earlier. The math doesn't support it. The timing doesn't support it. And the research doesn't support it. Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health has noted that most Americans, including older adults, don't consume enough potassium-rich foods, and that food sources remain the preferred and safest way to improve intake. Not supplements, not pills. Food, the kind you can put on a plate tonight. This is not age. This is something your body is doing, and we can fix it. One dinner at a time, one plate at a time. Starting tonight, I've given you 5 dinners. Each one is built from foods you can find in any grocery store. Each one delivers potassium at the level your muscles actually need. And each one is designed to work before you go to sleep, not after you wake up in pain. Your doctor never told you this, but I will. The dinner plate is the first line of defense against night leg cramps after 60. Not the supplement aisle, not the midnight snack. Dinner. If you've watched this far, and I'm glad you have, then you now know more about the connection between evening potassium and nighttime muscle calm than most seniors will ever be told. But I need to be honest with you about something. Because as important as dinner potassium is, and it is, there's a reason it still doesn't work for some seniors. Even when they do everything right, there's another mineral involved. One that determines whether your muscles can actually use the potassium you just gave them. And if that mineral is low, and in many seniors after 60, it is, then the best potassium dinner in the world still won't fully calm your legs. Before I let you go, there's one more thing, and this might be the most important part of everything I've said today. If your legs are still cramping after you've improved dinner potassium, the answer isn't more potassium. The answer is the mineral that unlocks it. And most seniors have never had that connection explained to them. Now that you know how dinner potassium may calm night cramps, there's something else happening in your body that can make potassium look like it's failing, unless you also address the mineral that helps your muscles use it properly. I cover exactly that in the next video. Watch it now.